Jimin from We Learn to Share, and in today's video, I'll be summarizing the first unit of AP Human Geography. In Unit 1.1, it is important to understand and identify different types of maps which are used to represent and identify spatial patterns and processes at different scales. There are two main types of maps, which are reference maps and thematic maps. So reference maps are designed for general information about places. Some examples of reference maps would be physical and political maps as they show human-created boundaries and show natural features. Thematic maps show spatial aspects of information. Some examples of thematic maps are choroplast maps, dot maps, graduated symbol maps, isoline maps, and cartograms. Choroplast maps use color to represent certain data. Dot maps use dots to express a particular geographic feature. Graduated symbol maps use symbols of different sizes to indicate different amounts of something. Isoline maps use lines on the map to connect data points of the same value. And finally, cartograms alter the geographic part of a map to represent the data. There are two main types of data, which are qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative data is data expressed in words. For example, case studies and descriptions are examples of qualitative data. On the other hand, quantitative data is data that can be measured by using numbers. The census, for instance, recording official data about a population is quantitative. Location can be described by absolute location and relative location. Absolute location is the exact spot where something is, often expressed in latitude and longitude. Latitude measures the north and south position of a point, and longitude measures the west and east position of a point. Relative location, on the other hand, is the location of something in relationship to something else. Distance can be also described by the absolute distance and the relative distance. Absolute distance is a measurement in units of how far apart things are, while relative distance measures in units how much time it takes to reach a particular place. The three geographic patterns are clustered, dispersed, and linear. As you can see from this picture, clustered means that things are concentrated at one place. Dispersed means that things are spread out, and linear means that things are geographically located in a straight line. Data can be used for many purposes. It can be used for personal, business, organizational, and political decision making. Data technology is used to gather geographical data. Geographic Information System, GIS, is the computer system that stores, analyzes, and displays information from multiple maps or datasets. The Global Positioning System, GPS, is the use of satellites to determine the absolute location. Lastly, remote sensing is collecting and analyzing physical information from a remote distance. Time-space compression is the idea that relative distances between places are shrinking as a result of advancements in technology and transportation. To explain, due to advancements in technology and transformation, people are able to travel in short periods of time and are able to send information faster by using the internet despite the large absolute distances. Distance decay is the idea that when the absolute distance is large between things, they interact less. On the other hand, when the absolute distance is small between things, they interact more. For instance, countries that are next to each other are likely to interact more compared to countries that are located farther apart as a result of distance decay. Human-environmental interaction is the connection between humans and the environment. There are two theories on how humans interact with the environment. Environmental determinism is the idea that the environment is what shapes human thoughts and behaviors. Possibilism is the idea that human thought and behavior is ultimately a result of social conditions, despite the fact that culture may be affected by the natural environment. There are two scales that are used to analyze maps and charts. First is the relative scale. The relative scale is the area being shown on the map or chart. The second type of scale is the scale of the data, which is the area being analyzed on the map or chart. The 5 types of relative scale and scale of data can be categorized into global, world, regional, national, regional, and local scale. For example, the relative scale of this map is global, as it shows the entire globe, and the scale of the data is national since the data is analyzed by countries. There are 3 types of regions. A formal region is a region that is united by one or more characteristics that can be measured. A functional region is a region that has a node and has an activity that occurs across the region. Lastly, perceptual region is a region with multiple common characteristics that are not measured. So this is why for perceptual regions, it can be different depending on how a person interprets it. This would be the end of today's video, and I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.